On a freezing night here in the Valley, the Sun Devils were ice cold from the field. Brady, Vernon, Joran, Palacio, Brady, the Sun Devils 91-70 losers. That's right, I said 91-70 against Washington State. Has this been the ugliest game from the Sun Devils since you can remember?
It's truly not even close, and people might bring up the Princeton loss, but by kind of categories of the net, like this is the first Q4 loss that ASU has, and I think this is only the second time WAZZU's won on the road in a Pac-12 game in 17 road trips.
Yeah.
And there was not a whole lot of good in anything ASU did tonight, and it was honestly the most miserable performance they've had in a while.
And when you think about how miserable it was for the Sun Devils, I believe they only made one three-point shot throughout the majority of the game. They added on a couple late, but it was a dismal shooting performance tonight for ASU.
Yeah, I think it was Dort hit the first one, and it got them the 1 of 18.
Yeah.
The crowd erupted, and as sad as that is, they finished 5-34, and a lot of those were late times. But yeah, I'd never seen a team start 0 for 17, and there's no way you can win a basketball game like that, especially how the game of basketball is played nowadays. And every time ASU tried getting to the hoop or close to the rim, Utah would just foul them and force them to hit free throws. And they started 2 of 8 for the line, which you're not going to win basketball games that way.
No, absolutely not. And Washington State also played very well tonight. Banks Jr. had himself a night. He had over 20 points in the first half, ended with over 30. How big do you think this night was in getting Washington State getting some momentum early on?
Well, that's the thing with bad teams is once they have confidence, then they get going. I think it was the Utah game that Bobby Hurley mentioned that, like in the second half that they started coming back is because they started hitting shots. And tonight again, something that ASU struggled with this season is closing out those three-pointer attempts, and they just kept falling and falling. There was second chance points, and it was just very lackluster from ASU. And coming in this week, a lot of people might think, oh, the Washington game is bigger, they're 9-0. Like, no, this one's the one that hurts the resume a lot more if you lose it. And I don't know how you come out flat again after a big win against Arizona like you did with Kansas and Princeton.
Yeah, it seems the only consistent thing about this Arizona State team has been their inconsistency. Now, you do move forward to Washington as of right now, as far as we know, undefeated in the Pac. How do you kind of regroup from a dismal performance like this to facing the best team in the conference?
Well, I mean, if anyone has answers to motivate someone, it's probably Bobby Hurley, who currently is not probably a man you want to talk to at this moment.
No, definitely not.
I don't know if he'll run 92 lanes in front of him again. I see that's unlikely, but Washington's playing very well in with their 2-3 zone that Mike Hopkins brings from Syracuse that they struggled with in the tournament game last year. They have to find some things out in offense, and especially with Tayshaun being out and being the X factor, you got to start hitting more threes somehow.
Absolutely.
Will Rob Edwards have the game that he had tonight? Probably not, because I think it was his worst performance of the season.
For sure.
It's also a thing where if Romello White's also injured because he left this game, then you are down to what was your 8-man normal rotation to 6. And so you're going to have to start incorporating guys that you don't usually do.
Yeah, and if you're a Sun Devil fan, it can only go up from here. The Devils taking on the Huskies on Saturday, but again, they are 91-70 losers to the Washington State Cougars. For Brady, Vernon, I'm Joran Palacio, House of Sparky.